Hey everyone, welcome back to Measuremix. Thanks for stopping by today. I'm going to be making some Dollar Tree Farmhouse bedroom decor for my guest bedroom makeover that I'm doing for the month of June. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you like DIYs and home decor, hit that subscribe button and don't forget that notification bell next to it so that way you get notified when I upload a new video. Now let's get started on the DIYs. For this first DIY, I'm going to be using one of these cooling racks from Dollar Tree. And to start off with, I am just going to make sure that the bottom of the cooling rack is on the bottom. And then the top of the cooling rack, I'm going to take the first section. It's split into 4 sections. I'm going to take that first section and I'm going to bend that upwards. And then I'm going to take the last section and bend that upwards as well. So I'm left with a box with 2 sides. And then I'm going to spray paint this with some oil rubbed bronze spray paint. Now for the other 2 sides of my basket, to make it enclosed, I wanted it to be wood, so I picked up one of these 3-in-1 board games from Dollar Tree, and you can see that on one side of the board game it is split into 2 sections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this board game into 2 pieces. So I just used a box cutter and I scored down the middle of the board until it broke into 2 separate pieces. Then I took some sandpaper and just sanded both the back and the front of both of these pieces to just take the shininess off of the black sections on here. And then I got out my dark walnut stain and I put a coat on the front and the back of each of these pieces. I did not wipe, I just put a very thick coat so that way I could cover up the black paint on these boards. Next, after everything was dry, I just took one of the wood pieces and I slid it in between the top of the cooking rack. And then I did apply some hot glue to both the bottom corners to hold it down, and then also both of the top corners. The wood will stick out beyond the wire cooking rack, but that's okay because it will be held down kind of in place with the hot glue. And then I just did the same thing on the other side. Now you could add handles to this or something like that, but I decided to leave it like this. And now I'm going to show you what I did to decorate the inside of the basket. I saw some cement planters with some greenery on Amazon, so I thought I would recreate them using this cement spray paint and then 2 of these glass vases from Dollar Tree. And this is kind of how they turned out. They kind of have a cement look, so I'm not too unhappy with it. So now all I'm going to do is fill these vases with some greenery. I just put some floral foam in there, and the greenery I'm using is the spring greenery that I got back in early spring, and I just have a bunch of it lying around. And the some of it without the flowers on it looks just like some boxwood or some ferns. So I took all of the flowers off and I just cut the stems that had the greenery on it and put those inside the round vase. And then I had the ones that look kind of like ferns. I cut those flowers off as well. And then I just added the greenery to this vase. Now that my greenery is all finished, I can go ahead and style my basket. I'm just placing my basket on top of this footstool. I actually kind of used it as a bed tray, but I just put it on top of there, and now I'm just adding my greenery to the opposite corners of the basket. And then I have these 2 books that my grandma gave to me. They were from when she was a child, and I'm just gonna add those in the middle of the 2 planters. For this last DIY, I'm going to make some art for my guest bedroom with 4 of these canvas picture frames from Dollar Tree. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the hangers from the back of all 4 of these, and I'm going to save the hangers for later. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the staples from the backing of all 4 of these frames so I can take the pictures off of them. I'm gonna save the pictures for later, and I am just going to be left with 4 of these frames, and I'm just going to paint them with some paint I already had on hand. It's Soulful Gray by Valspar. This is what I used to paint my faux shiplap wall. And now I'm going to come back to those pictures, and on the back side of those canvases, I am going to go ahead and paint some Swiss coffee color. It's by Valspar. I also use this on my guest bedroom as well, and that way the picture on the back won't show through as much. Then I'm going to go ahead and place the picture on the back of the frame and staple that down so I can see the canvas on the opposite side. And then I am going to take my box cutter and just trim the edges of that canvas. Now it's time to go ahead and write out what I wanted to say on each one of these pictures. The first one I wrote "come in," and I just used a pencil to write out the word that I wanted, and then I came back with a Sharpie paint pen and I traced over it. I just did this freehand, and I was looking at my phone to reference the lettering of how I wanted it to look. And then I did the second picture with the word and again I just used a pencil and then came back in and went over it with a Sharpie paint pen. If you didn't want to freehand this, you could always print the letters out that you wanted or the words out that you wanted, and you could use a pencil to color the back of the lettering, and then you could transfer that onto your canvas that way. For the third and fourth picture, I wrote "stay" and "a while" on the last one, and again I just used a pencil to draw this out. And then I came back in just with a small thin brush and some blue chalk paint, some light blue chalk paint, and I just traced over those letterings. When I was done, I did come back with some more of that white Swiss coffee color that I had previously painted the canvases with, because you could see some of the erase marks from the pencil and things like that, and just trying to define the wording just a little bit better. So I just went over it to make it look a little more cleaner. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed these Dollar Tree farmhouse bedroom decor ideas. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And that is it. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.